Yeah, there was an elderly woman on our block who passed away in the storm, maybe from the stress of it. She would have probably been the best bet if she evacuated, but that didn't happen. But we felt we were somewhat safe, or we'll only get a couple of feet of water. But when 7 o'clock hit that night, and then 8 o'clock hit, the ocean met the bay, and it got scary. Then it was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I think we lost the power around 8 o'clock, and that was really scary. Just out of nowhere, boom! Everything is just, everything's off.
I'm taking these sandbags, right, and I'm lifting them because they kept falling away, and I'm trying to push them against to save my house. As I'm doing that, right, I lifted up a 100-pound thing and I ruptured my bicep. My bicep muscle comes off my shoulder, right? And the water's rushing in. I mean, something like out of a TV movie.
We have these out-of-town cherry pickers that are coming, they're helping out, but that's the one thing right now. We need garbage pickup. We need these cars out of here. These cars, I know the insurance companies are doing the best they can, but we need the cars out of here. We need the garbage out of here. We need the sand back on the beach, so.
But the other thing that concerns me is the whole climate change thing, which made Sandy, which was going to be a real, strong punch, it made it into a killer punch.
I got a radio on, Long Beach frequency. If there's a fire call, we're going to leave right from here to go to it. But there's nothing's been going on today, so we could go for a ride and see, take a look at what's happening. But there's been some days they've had like 30 calls in one day going on.
So what most of the calls?
What's happening is since the power is being turned back on, some houses that have been checked out electrically, people just turning their breakers back on, and salt water from getting in the electrical system is causing things to go on fire. Television short out, stuff comes on that they left all the power strips on, so when the power comes on in the house, stuff that's plugged in is catching on fire, arcing and stuff, A lot, you always get people, some areas now without power still using candles to try to use light. The candle falls over, starts a fire. It's the stuff that always happens in these kind of disasters. But it's been very impressive to see all these departments from Suffolk County, especially. They're driving 3 hours to come from Suffolk, and these guys from way out in upstate New York coming down here to help out everybody. And last year, when upstate New York got hit with the after effects of Irene, a lot of Long Island departments went to help them, so they're helping us now. So.
And what happened is the water pressure was so intense that it actually opened a garage, and then like an avalanche, all the water flooded into my house. Then it actually got worse because the water table rose. It wasn't just the water from the outside. It was the water table that actually rose and came through the pipe. So I'm up there, laying in my bed in complete darkness, alone, and all you hear is go, 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 go. And I'm there like, what the hell's that sound? I was like, oh Christ, the water's coming up from the bottom. And then I actually panicked because I didn't know how high I was going to get. But one of the most intense moments is everybody handles crisis differently. My neighbor across the street who has 2 small kids didn't evacuate. And he's on the same level as I am. And he's screaming at the top, help me, I got to evacuate. And he's got 2 kids. So they put on the waders, the hats, and I shine my light from my porch. And they evacuated these 2 kids at the peak of the storm. They're 6 foot high. 2 guys are walking with lights on, with kids on their back, like, again, something out of a movie, and evacuated to my neighbor who had the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I have 2 kids. I have 2 daughters. They're 6 and 4. And my oldest one's in 1st grade, and she went to West Elementary up the block here. And we're very fond of the school. But there's a lot of devastation. They've had to throw out all the books. They've... like the emergency cards was flooded. It's been a difficult transition. We relocated to my mother-in-law's in Brooklyn. I was coming back and forth, check on the house, check on my neighbors, help them out. But I had to drive my daughter to school every day. And it was tough. I would say 3 out of 4 days she got car sick for the hour-and-a-half bumper-to-bumper traffic to get down here. And traffic was worse because of the gas lines and everything else. So
our country needs to kind of get it together and start dealing very seriously with global climate disruption. That's pretty obvious now.
I'm saying the power of the storm took away material possessions and things that are familiar and comfortable to us, but it didn't take and crush the human spirit. And I think if anything, it emphasized it and gave it an opportunity to flourish the way it's capable of. So the storm really inevitably brought us together, and I think that's what its ultimate purpose was.
So in the 50s, the boardwalk with all the skee ball and all the other fun games, that's where we hung out. And we could be by ourselves without our parents or a babysitter. You're like 6 or 8 or 9 years old doing the boardwalk. It's great. And yeah, that's part of what hurts about coming back here and seeing this. But I have to say, I haven't met any down people today. I'm really impressed with people's just kind of good spirit in the face of all this.
I think that spirit was there to begin with. The friendly people. This is not Wantagh. This is not Massapequa. I'm looking at my cousin. This is not other parts of Long Island where it's very suburban. It's the 3-car garage. This is like what New York City used to be. The closeness. In places like Brooklyn, maybe you're going back to the 50s and 60s. You have that tight knit closeness, and then you have just really great friendly people down here.
People walking up and down the street with shovels, volunteering for each other's homes. I mean, the effort that was put into just helping each other was nothing I've ever seen. And it made me see the glimmer of hope, where at least a silver lining in this tragedy is how people really, really down deep really care about each other and see the connectivity and how we have to be there for each other. I mean, every day there was either free pizza, turkeys being handed out, hot meals, and it's not just the FEMA. I mean, this is just people giving out shovels, mops, Clorox, advice. And even now, even today, a month later, I don't have heat or hot water still, and people are offering me heaters to come to their home, to stay in their home, warm showers. I mean, the love that's being shown from the community is overwhelming, and it's something I never expected.
I wasn't here for the disaster. We've been coming down trying to help out afterwards, so we're just, doing our part, just trying to help out. I just wanted to, tell people of Long Beach good luck, and hope you guys recover.
There's really been a lot of camaraderie within the neighbors. They were cooking, offering anything I needed. Even the whole town has become a whole neighborhood in a sense, so it's been great.
The ocean is there. Until a month ago, the boardwalk was still there. The beach, I guess, is kind of here. And there's a real kind of Long Beach spirit that's very strong.
We're just taking it day by day. The community spirit here has been absolutely wonderful.